going on, guys? Beastly Gamer here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about celebrities and whether or not a celebrity's word means more than yours. And yes, I'm talking to you, the individual listener. Do you think that a person who makes a certain amount of money carries more weight when they give an opinion? Do you think that a person who's in a higher echelon of social status, that their opinion matters more than yours? There's been a slew of celebrities coming out lately, laying down their opinion on the masses, and really, in a condescending way, have been expecting people to follow suit simply because they are a celebrity. I'm talking mostly about the presidential election and after Donald Trump took the oath of office, and even before. There's been a slew of celebrities coming out against the president, against the fact that he was democratically elected, against the fact that he won the Electoral College. And for the most part, there's been a lot of celebrities trying to use their social status to change the paradigm or to alter the minds of the masses to make people think like them. And for the most part, I gotta say I'm really happy. It's been backfiring because people like myself, and more than likely people like you and the people that you know, don't feel like being told what to do or told what to think by a person who's a celebrity and has a self-entitled attitude of thinking that they're better than you. Now, Ashley Judd recently came out during the Women's March against Trump, talking a lot about, crazy stuff, period blood and racism and homophobia and xenophobia and all this stuff. The catchphrases they use against Donald Trump. But she's also taken that crosshair off of our president and has been putting it on the video game industry as a whole. And once again, in my humble opinion, these celebrities who have a higher social status make much more money than the average person. They think that their opinion matters more than the average person's opinion. And to me, these types of messages make them look like self-centered, egotistical, and self-righteous pricks. That's the only way I can describe it. But Ashley Judd is not just targeting the president, she's also targeting the video game industry. And I want to talk about it. I'll drop a link in the description. Ashley Judd is wrong about video games. In a TED Talk that's been making the rounds recently, actress Ashley Judd took a stab at the video game industry saying, quote, "Profiteering off misogyny in video games must end. I'm so tired of hearing you talk to me about how deplorable Gamergate was when you're still making billions of dollars off games that maim and dump women for sport. Basta, as the Italians would say, enough," end quote. Misogyny in video games is vastly overblown by members of the press, both mainstream and within the video game press itself, and by celebrities and activists. I can only surmise that Judd, in this instance, is referring to Grand Theft Auto, the lower of low-hanging fruit when it comes to criticizing video games for misogyny. In that game franchise, players can do just about anything they want, from shooting at police or civilians to stealing cars to killing prostitutes and taking their money. That last one gets a lot of play in the media, but represents only a very tiny and optional activity in the open world game series. To my knowledge, however, there is no video game in which you literally maim and then dump women for sport. In Grand Theft Auto 5, you kill far more men than you do women. Women are not treated as some special subclass of human being that is free from carnage that is visited upon every other person in the game. In general, more men than women are killed, maimed, and wounded in video games. That's because games have largely been the wheelhouse of young men. Only recently have video games become more diverse. Part of that diversity means that we see more female video game characters getting killed and wounded. I've seen Lara Croft die many horrible deaths in the new Tomb Raider games. I'd say that's a step toward equality and social justice, not the other way around. Judd's main point was to highlight online abuse, so it's very unsurprising that she would invoke Gamergate, online harassment's great boogeyman. But I wish she'd at least left an example of which game she felt profiteered from this sort of thing. Certainly, there are games that are fairly flagrant in their use of the maxim, quote, "sex sells," end quote, but that's a far cry from maiming and dumping women. While many people are incredibly critical of feminist video game critic Anna Sarkeesian, at least she uses specific examples of video games to make her points, whether or not you agree with them. Here, Judd is painting with a wide brush, failing to list any examples of what she is criticizing, and taking it for granted that her vague accusations would be accepted at face value. She probably correctly assumes that her TED audience aren't big gamers and will accept blithely the assertion that video game creators profit off misogyny. Low-hanging fruit indeed. That's not to say that there are no problems with sexism in video games. Sexism is a real issue that exists within our media, from films to music to games, because these things reflect the real world. Sexism doesn't stem from video games. Video games, like films and novels, are a statement about the world in which we live. As to Judd's larger point, that online harassment is bad and damaging and should go away, I certainly agree, even if I find the issue depressingly utopian. Whether it's something that can truly ever be stopped, given that it's often anonymous and hard to pin down, is an open question. I lean towards, quote, no, end quote, given that the combination of human nature and anonymity tends to lead to unpredictable behavior. But as someone who believes that all people should be treated with respect and dignity, I can certainly get behind efforts to make the world a more civil and decent place, just as long as free speech isn't on the chopping block. In terms of video games, while there's certainly some distasteful stuff out there, and plenty of obnoxious people who play video games, I think overall video games are a good and healthy thing. They are a peaceful pastime that gives people something to do other than to get in trouble. The millions of people who purchased and played GTA 5 aren't out on the streets maiming and dumping women, robbing banks, or stealing cars. They're pressing buttons in front of a TV screen, escaping off into some murderous fantasy land, and then going on about their lives. The bad apples and obvious trolls are real jerks. They've always been with us and they will always be. Let's not judge everyone for the sins of the few. Look, this is the whole truth and nothing but the truth when it comes to situations like this. First of all, there's a lot of feminism going around in the world, and to me, Anna Sarkeesian is complete garbage and cancer to the gaming community. She knows she is, because she makes all of her videos. You can't comment on any of them, because she knows that the truth of the matter is pretty much any of those videos can be debunked and can make her look like a complete fool. Ashley Judd doesn't understand the video gaming mythos. She doesn't understand the environment. She has no clue what gamers think and what we believe. First of all, there are films. There's music. There's plenty of films where women are snuffed and killed, period. There's music talking all kinds of crazy stuff and degrading women and, making them into sex objects. That's just how our society works. If women want equal rights, if women want equal treatment, then they've got to start acting equal. You can't consistently talk about these women's issues and misogyny in video games and all this stuff if you really want to be equal, because if that were the case, we'd be able to say that men are sexualized in video games, that there's too many men dying in video games. We're all human beings. This shouldn't be a male versus female thing. And these celebrities who constantly come out like their opinion means more than the average citizen are a real joke to me. They are a blight on our society, in my humble opinion. Video games are art, and the people who write these video games have a vision. Who are you to say what they can and can't put into a video game that they conceived of, something that they put together, not you? If celebrities and anyone out there is too offended by someone else's vision of what they consider art, then they need to go to another planet, because here on Earth, free speech is something that we all enjoy. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have we gone too far with the sexualization of women in video games? Do you guys think that misogyny and treating women a certain way in video games needs to change? Or do you think that, hey, that's just the world that we live in? I personally believe this. There are things in this world that I don't like, and those things I stay away from. I don't listen to a lot of different types of music that have negative connotations. I don't like to drive around the town and listen to music talking about selling drugs, because I don't live that kind of life. I don't agree with that kind of life. I'm not going to take to social media and start talking about it, because guess what? In this society, it's okay. So you got to choose what you do and you don't want to have in your particular circle. If Ashley Judd has that many problems with video games, she thinks that there's games where you literally bag women up and kill them, then she has no clue what the video gaming climate actually is. People who are not inside the gaming mythos, they hear people talk, they hear Anna Sarkeesian, and think that's the way that this thing really works, and it absolutely does not. But again, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Misogyny, feminism, and the minds of people who have no clue what they're talking about infecting or trying to infect the video game industry. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give a thumbs up to show support for the channel. Join the Facebook group. Follow me on Twitter. And you can support the channel at beastlygamer.com. I'm the Beastly Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time.